All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. My name is Resorty, and to you, one and all, I say, hello, friends. Welcome back. How's it going? Good to see you. It's a pleasure to be here once again for some more Victoria 3 action. I hope you're ready for the same. Should be lovely. Psyker, hello, friend. How's it going to you, Gelizar? Pepper, it's good seeing you. Pepper, I say her name with such a elan, such vivacity. Pepper! You can't say the word pepper in a boring way, I promise you. Logos, hello friend. Jim, welcome in. How's it going to you today, Height? Always a pleasure to see you, Axix. Welcome, Fernanthus. Is that everybody? If I missed you, I apologize, but thank you for being here. It is an exciting day here in the Resortyverse because we get to play some more video games. We get to go teach in a little while. I considered doing an intro of this form today, wherein I didn't do my normal hello routine, but instead reading my little bookie wookie, turning on the camera. Here, I'll show you what it looked like. Oh, hello there. I didn't see you. I considered doing that. I thought it'd be funny, but at the same time, too weird. I gotta stay with the normal, stay with what works. That said, this book here, Michael Sandel's The Tyranny of Merit, strongly recommended. Sandel's a professor of philosophy at Harvard. He is spending most of the book arguing against the social worth of Harvard, and it's an interesting book. Sandel is a very good popularizer. He has 3 big books, one called Justice, one called The Moral Limits of Markets, and one called The Tyranny of Merit. All 3 are very good. They ask us to look past a kind of narrow individualism to a more communitarian conception that looks at the goods for society and individuals both, and it's very good, and I very much enjoy it, and yeah, 2 thumbs up, of course. I should go with that intro. Maybe from now on I'll do that, because as you know, during the countdown, like the first 7 minutes and 20 seconds of the stream, I tend to either like run around the house getting things done, or I tend to stand here and just look at chat and then respond to people who say things. And it might be more productive to spend the 7 minutes here reading a book, or doing something that is more than just standing and staring at the wall. So yeah, maybe we should change to a new intro. Or maybe occasionally surprise people. You won't know what intro you get, but you get something for sure. Game Merchant, good to see you. How's it going, my friend? Oh, friends. I see Game Merchant's name. Game Merchant helped me with getting the new YouTube playthrough put together, and I'm so excited for it. Last night, I got all of the audio recorded for the new RimWorld playthrough that's coming very soon. So I now have all of the video, which has been edited down. You're not going to have to sit there and watch like half an hour of a character cutting down trees by himself. Instead, it's edited into little bite-sized segments. And the audio is now done also. And so today after work, I'm intending to put the 2 together. And then like normalize audio, etc., editing words here. And then hopefully by tomorrow morning, I get it uploaded. That's the goal. Might be tomorrow afternoon, but I'm so excited to put out a RimWorld playthrough while we are also playing other games. Gonna be really nice. And like I said yesterday, I love that I'm learning new editing skills, new ways of making the stream better, making better videos, etc. It's pretty cool. One thing that's not cool, that I've mentioned on stream before, and I'm looking for ways to fix this, is when I bounce a little bit, as I often do because I am standing, my head gets cut off. Like, you lose the hair very quickly. And the correct answer to that, of course, is like, just move the camera up a little bit, Resorty. But the problem with that, as you know, is very quickly, it turns into the top of the green screen, like the raising and lowering bar, and then the ceiling, right? The ceiling is also there. So I've tried very hard to find a different angle for the old green screen, and haven't quite found one yet. Haven't quite figured that one out. I don't live in a black void, can you believe it? When I'm not streaming, I do subsist in some other part of the world. Adopt a negative bounce instead? Alright friends, here I am, getting those squats in. For every new subscription, I'll do 20 squats. Definitely that's what we should do. No, I think realistically what I need to do is to raise the entire desk. Like, the desk is in fact as high as it can go. I think if I raise the desk a little bit more, it'll then be angled down more at me, and therefore use more of it going down. I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. Hello, Shen! It's good to see you, Shen! I was just enjoying watching your Persia playthrough. So Shen is playing as Persia in the Victoria 3. We are, of course, playing the Sweden, and we're just getting started. Yesterday we read through a portion of the tutorial, and we're going to do some more of that today. So Shen viewers, I sure do hope that you enjoy reading streams, because so much more reading here. Welcome, Love Broken. How's it going, Joel? Welcome back, Maleficus. Hello again, Gwaits. Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. Very, very soon, very soon, we'll pivot from Resorti in the Black Void of Death over into Resorti in Victoria 3, and we'll continue making more and more furniture. But thank you, everyone, for being here. Shen, I really enjoyed your stream today. Shen offers such like insightful commentary on what in Victoria 3 needs to improve. As of right now, I'm just so tickled, so delighted by the buttons I can push and the numbers going up that I don't yet have any problems with the game, other than that I'm not sure at all what I should be doing. But Shen is so thoughtful with the, like, oh gosh, oh man, if I could only see this kind of trade number, I could figure out what to do much, much more quickly. Instead, I've got to get the old calculator out and figure out exactly what I need to do. And yeah, this is me complimenting Shen and saying, if you have not watched Shen's playthroughs yet, strongly encouraged. Definitely a better Paradox player than I will ever be. Anyway, that's enough blather. Let's get ourselves over to Ye Old Game. Is it capturing? Of course it's not. Come on, Victoria 3, you can do it. And appear. My magic worked just fine. Oh, Shen, you're too nice. You will recall, Shen, the way in which I learned EU4 was you talking me through every single screen and saying, this button does this button does that. And me standing here going, uh-huh. At some point I need help learning Hearts of Iron in just the same way. Green Forest Bear, thanks for the follow. Geo, thanks for the follow also. Really kind. Alright, so here we are again. Here's Victoria. Here are other people I do not know. Maybe General Custer, I'm not quite sure. But we're going to push the continue button, continue our Sweden Iron Man play. And I am really curious what will happen today. Right now there's a big war happening, allegedly when it began, between Prussia and one of the minor German powers. And now it's turned into a full-blown war between Prussia and Austria. You can see the mighty Prussian eagle flag is biting into Austria a little bit, and I believe like the United Kingdom is involved in this. Sorry, Great Britain's involved in this at this point, and it's just an absolute mess. As of right now, Prussia is indeed winning, but you will see on the one side is Prussia and Lübeck, and Hohenzollern. On the other side is Britain and Austria, and it's a lot of deaths for really no good reason. It's just a border war, and all those boys are not coming home. So we'll definitely see what resolves with that. Right now, Prussia likes us a whole bunch up here in Sweden. We have a trade relationship going on. I don't recall what we're exchanging, but it's definitely nice to see. My big hope is that Prussia wins this, and we can find a way to continue being friendly with Prussia. They refuse to give us an alliance. They refuse to give us a non-aggression pact or any kind of mutual situation militarily. But I'm guessing if we can maintain a good relationship on the side of trade, they won't want to destroy us. Now, is that how this game works? I have no idea. We'll find out as time goes by. But you can see right here that the attitude of Prussia is genial, and they're cordial to us. They're some bad dudes, but they like us just fine. At this point, we haven't really done anything to improve our military. We started with 30 garrisons. We continue to have 30 garrisons, and that's just how it goes. Maybe we need more eventually. I believe it's the case my general can hold up to... How many was it? It's based on his military rank. Yeah, he can personally hold up to 40 regular battalions. So maybe raising one more battalion would be a good way to show the neighbors that we mean business. But again, the military side of the playthrough I've not done anything with yet. We'll see. Love Broken, thank you for that follow. Very, very kind. How's it going, Marks? Good to see you today. All right, so let's talk about the economy of Sweden right now. Number one, we are continuing to hemorrhage cash. You will notice there's a tremendous fall off pretty recently. I believe that's because we built a pretty decent number of construction facilities because we want to start ramping up the production of more and more buildings. On the old market here, you will see that our greatest asset is our fertilizer. We have a whole bunch of livestock farms and not so many places that consume fertilizer yet. We want to do some more of that because, as you see, fertilizer is basically worthless. So consuming it ourselves rather than selling it is probably a very, very good idea. Beyond that, we have a bunch of fabric coming in. It's a little more valuable, but not super great. Unfortunately, nothing we have excess of is worth big money. However, we do have excess tools. We have been trying so hard to get sufficient tools so we can end certain unprofitable trade routes where we are bringing in tools and just not doing terribly well on that. So producing them ourselves is probably a better idea. We'll continue making more and more of those. Hello, Ivan. How's it going? How many in-game hours do I have so far? 5. So I just started my first playthrough yesterday. I don't have any strong opinions other than I am enjoying myself, but any game where I feel like I'm learning stuff, any game where it seems like I'm getting a handle on difficult mechanics, makes me very, very happy. But yeah, no, I am not quite an absolute noob, but within striking distance, much closer to the starting line than the finish line. That's where we are right now. As far as it feeling a bit unfinished, I can see how one would say that. But like I said, I'm having a good time, and I have faith in Paradox. As long as we keep playing this game, they will fix this game, and that will be lovely. Hello, Necor, how's it going? Okay, so on the other side of things, I should say, are the things that we do not have enough for ourselves. Of course, liquor and clothing, always good to make more of that. We're also a little low on furniture, despite the fact that yesterday we made an important decision, and that decision is we are going to make so much furniture because Sweden is IKEA, and so we are IKEA. We're going to make more and more furniture. My goal for the playthrough currently is that we become the greatest producer of furniture in the entire world. We currently have, how do I see this? How do I see furniture manufacturing? I think it's right in here somewhere. Yes. So we're oh, it's happened. It happened overnight. Yesterday when we looked, we were at like 40 or 50. But look at this. Look at this, friends. We are the #1 furniture manufacturer in the world. I intend to continue this. I do not know if furniture is a good thing to make, but I don't care. We're going to make so much furniture, your head's going to spin. So far, I have not pushed the auto expand button at all. I don't quite know if that's a good idea. Unpause it will change. Don't go breaking my heart. You couldn't if you tried. Wait, are we #1? Oh, no. We're #1 on literally everything. Oh, my heart, it is breaking. All right. We unpause, we repause. Is it still the case that we are #1? We're number 156 in terms of productivity, and then number 18 in terms of our manufactories. Fine. There's still work to do. That means we're heading in the right direction, but there is still more we gotta do. Auto expand doesn't expand in any intelligent way. All right, we won't do that then for sure. Hello, Christos. Quick tip: when you click on a state, on the buildings tab up right, there's a button that changes the icons to the buildings in a list. Okay, people have suggested this before, like this thing here. I like the pretty pictures very, very much, but I understand why this would be more useful. It shows more information in like a quicker way, but the pretty pictures get very small and hard to read. All right, we'll stay in the list for now and see how that works for us. Upgrade Carton, thanks for the follow. Do appreciate it. So, I'd like to continue producing more and more furniture. As of right now, we do have a tremendously big list of things to make. Most notably lead mines. So lead is not demanded yet, but we are building this in hopes that we can become a market leader in lead production. Again, right now, lead's worth nothing. It will be worth more eventually, so we are future-proofing our world. Beyond that, we're trying to make more iron, more steel, and more paper. The paper here is necessary to keep the intelligentsia happy. And as of right now, the intelligentsia has the greatest amount of clout in our little world here. As you might know, I do teach college, and so I feel a natural affinity with this group, so we're trying to make them happy on this particular playthrough. We'll see how it goes. Earlier we were bolstering them to help them get more and more and more clout, but I was worried about my authority becoming unbalanced. But right now we can go ahead and bolster again. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we're just going to pause and let some time fly by and see what happens, see what we're going to do. Keep an eye on the Austrian-Prussian War there. An election happened! Alright, so unfortunately it's the case that the group that we're supporting most of all is the People's Party here. The natural affinity between the intelligentsia and the trade unionists is my goal. We are going to make socialism for our first playthrough, and Sweden will become the fine welfare state it is today. Probably on future playthroughs we'll try more restrictive ways of doing things, maybe go pure free market, but for right now I intend to liberalize through and through. That said, the people that we have been supporting are not nearly as popular as I wanted them to be. This party, the Lantmana Party, has won the election. Now, we're still a king, so I'm not sure how much we care about elections. And the Lantmana Party is the church. The church is directly opposed to the intelligentsia, so we probably can't do too much of both of them. Right now, we are a tiny little bit legitimate, just barely. So let's see. Due to the election, my government reform will not result in radicals as long as it's done within the next 183 days. We can push the reform button and see what we might do. How do we read this? This is clout primarily. The petite bourgeoisie are very loyal right now. That will probably change once we go with the workers. The trade unionists are very, very small power. Very small clout. So, does anyone have like clever ideas on how we should think about political parties in power? Because right now I'm okay with just letting the intelligentsia run the thing until it all falls apart. It might make the party that won the election happy if we bring them in for a while. I think I might just ignore the elections. We believe in liberalization, but not yet. We'll see if we're going to do anything with that in the future. For right now, I think we're good to go. I just recently moved away from oligarchy to allowing landed voting instead, so more people can vote, and that seems pretty great. Beyond that, right now, we have low market access in 2 of our places. We are currently researching railroads with the hope of fixing this. This trade route here I'd like to get rid of. We don't need paper as much. We'll see. The more I play, the more I'll understand. True. Elections are not super impactful. More important is studying the laws I wish to pass. Okay. And yeah, the laws I want to pass are primarily intelligentsia laws, so we'll stay with that. Key points for parties from gaming. Bring to government who are supporting the law I want. Got it. Makes sense, thank you. Legitimacy goes up. Love it. Yeah, I assume from a roleplay perspective, which I always want to do, like, I'm not really a min-maxer all the way through. I'm not someone who's insistent on, I must do the best game thing. From a roleplay perspective, I want the intelligentsia and power all the way through. Hoomter, have a good day at work. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Good to have you here for sure. We'll see you again soon, I hope. Expensive government goods. Once again, paper's too pricey. Apparently importing paper was a useful thing, but right now we'll fix that eventually. Alright, so Scania has gone very, very low on infrastructure again. They're using too much infrastructure. So earlier we fixed that by making a pier here. How else can we fix that? What else gives more infrastructure? Not a pier, sorry, a port rather. The port gives plus 10 infrastructure, and a bunch more convoys, which we're not really using that much. Presumably shipyards help with infrastructure also? They do not. They actually increase infrastructure usage. So probably it's just going to be some more ports for now. Railways also? Got it. Am I using a decree? I think I'm using a decree right now to bring people to Gotland, because Gotland is having a very hard time with finding laborers. So I think I used like the grass is greener. Yeah, a greener grass campaign in Gotland right now to get sufficient workers to run my tiny little farms here. As of right now, how is employment looking? Okay, I'm not... Oh, there we go. So only 416 people are employed. Not as bad as it could be. People are again trying to leave, probably lack of jobs. So let's create something here. Government administration increases takes construction, sorry. Increases market access, looks like, and gives us some infrastructure. Sure, first things first, let's create the power of the state on a little island. There's one decision that gives more infrastructure and faster build speed. Let's go and look at that. Is it road maintenance? It is. Costs only 75 authority. We can do that. So our authority is heading closer and closer to absolutely balanced, but for now, that's great. Losing money again. Gold reserves are fluctuating a bit, but we'll be fine. And we're getting so close to accomplishing the grow the GDP. One of our first requirements in the tutorial here. They want me to put a road maintenance decree in Svealand as well. That's this one here, right? That's Götaland. This one here. So I can't actually afford to do this, given that I just spent down here. Maybe we get more authority, we can do that and make the tutorial happy. What's happening in the market today? The price of lead has dropped substantially. So probably having my lead mine is a mistake. Now, eventually it will be good, but look at that huge drop from 40 monies down to 10 monies. Oops. Chairs are also getting cheaper and cheaper as we make more and more of them. Let's take a look at the market and see what more we can do. So things that are really expensive to make. I think we can make luxury clothes if we get dyes. I don't think I have dyes yet. We can also cheapen the price of clothing. And I do want to make paper still. As right now, we're making more livestock ranches to get more fabric, to make more clothes. And someday with this steel, how long do ports take to make? 9 weeks. So they're much, much faster than some of the others. I'm going to go ahead and move that to the top, and then move it down just 1. And the other port as well. Go ahead and move that to the top, and then move it down 2. Someday more ranches we'll see. Hey Samurai, can anyone recommend Frostpunk? I like Frostpunk a bunch. As I said previously, my sense of Frostpunk is one of the very best games for making you feel like you're in the situation. When I play that game, I feel cold and scared of what's happening around me. Frostpunk does not have a ton of replayability, but it's a really, really great game. So awesome. Sawdust Stew, that's right. You can have child laborers, you can force them to work in the mines. It's just a heck of a situation for sure. I also realized that we're over our infrastructure here, so we'll make a further port here. Or heck, why not 2? That seems good. And we'll kick those up to the top as well. So trying to decide in what order we make things in this game is something I'm not super good at yet. It tends to be a lot of smack the weasel on the head, as opposed to like careful planning. But that's okay. Hey, positive on cash again. Anytime I see money going up, I'm very happy. Because I would love it if we can get our gold reserves like substantially increased and be the richest people in all of Scandinavia, built entirely on the backs of IKEA furniture. As of right now, we are improving relations with the good people of China. I don't quite know why we're doing that, because initially when I started it, I set up an interest here, and I was hoping we could get ourselves some like interesting trade goods. But so far, I haven't found a good way to do that, because when I pull up the market and look for like excellent trade routes, I don't think I can get liquor or clothes or furniture from this fine place. However, we could export fertilizer or fabric. Now, we could also use fabric to make clothing. That would help the import demand. Alright, Russia wants fertilizer. Are they going to make it into explosives? Is nitroglycerin coming in a hurry? Probably so. But I like money a whole bunch. Alright, what else should I maybe export? For right now, we'll export more fabric. This is not nearly as valuable, but sure, France wants fabric, we can give them that. Look at that! Mission accomplished. I have proved myself capable of growing the economy. As we, which say the tutorial, go deeper into other aspects like politics and diplomacy, don't forget to continually expand in strategic directions so I don't get left behind. Sounds like the rapture. Growing the GDP will not only increase wealth, standard of living, and pop growth, but also some prestige, which influences my rank, my interest, and my ability to engage in diplomacy. Gosh, we're working on it, thanks. Vermilion, thanks for the follow, how's it going? Hello, hello. Also, apparently we made an interest group happy. Not intentionally, but sounds good to me. Super cool. Ports that are coming along nicely. I think some viewers said yesterday they tend to play the game at the fastest speed except during war. Right now, I don't want the game to spin out of speed. Or out of control, rather, so I'm going to stay at this, like, halfway speed. Also, it looks like Prussia really is winning. When this war first began, I said I was relatively sure that Prussia would be losing. But the flag just keeps getting bigger. Yeah, look at that. So previously, okay, it still is the case that the British are the war leader. But there's been a tremendous switch here. Though Prussia has all the armies in the whole wide world, the British have not brought most of those armies here. Presumably the British are stuck in like various colonial wars here and there and everywhere, and so they can't deploy all their troops to Prussia-Austria border. Alright, like we said, we got to keep Prussia on our side, but interesting to see how the state of Europe is developing. Aha! Oh, for a brief moment, the intelligentsia were super happy. And were giving us that +10 with big migration attraction. However, it dropped off by 1. So can we fix that? They're against national supremacy. That is something I want to fix. I want to become multicultural, blah, blah, blah. They also want more better schools. Again, we can't do that right now. We've got to work on that if we can. Let's check the laws and see who might be in support of those changes the intelligentsia want. Hey, Blue Light, how's it going? Alright, so national supremacy. Oh, I can change it. I can change it if I want to. The majority of people support staying on national supremacy. The intelligentsia hate it, but the bourgeoisie and the church love it. And right now, most people are with the church. This must be the sum of the two clouts here. With intelligentsia's clout by itself is 20. So if we go to racial segregation, is that more better? It's supported by one group. All right, who supports it? The intelligentsia enjoy racial segregation. They're working on it. The moral arc of the universe bends towards justice, but it is long indeed. So, the intelligentsia appears to be in favor of anything other than national supremacy. Now, if I change that, it's going to upset the church and the bourgeoisie. As right now, the bourgeoisie are totally in our favor. And the church is not half bad either. Now, what is pious fiction? I haven't seen that one yet. So if the church loves all the way... Wait, I'm confused. Oh, pious fiction is the if they're unhappy one. So we teach people propaganda. Teach them about superstition instead of useful things. On the other hand, the intelligentsia, if they go to 10, we get propagandists. Migration improves. We go all around the world and tell people that Sweden is just super great. If the church goes up all the way, we get a higher birth rate. I want both of those. So as of right now, I'm not going to upset the church. The other thing that the intelligentsia want is the removal of police forces and the removal of religious schools. Now, probably the removal of religious schools will also upset the church, but I might be okay with that. Oh, cool. The majority of folks, or clout-wise, would like us to move towards private schools instead. Most people just, or almost most people just don't care. Only the church is against this. They would go from +7 to -3. They would hate this so much. Okay, I'm gonna alienate the church, and this might be real bad. If I make the big change from religious schools to public schools, the church is still equally angry, but the labor unions are happy too. Are we liberalizing too fast? Here the industrials are happy. Here the labor unions are happy. Alright, we'll see how this goes, friends. Public schools for all. We have higher education access, more assimilation, and probably higher literacy also. So the church is now big angry. Hey! Lots of changes there. Lots of changes there. So the intelligentsia is now causing more migration to happen. Awesome. We need to get rid of national supremacy because we're bringing in people who are not native Swedes. Also, we have our first trade union change. Industrial organizers, no matter who's in charge, the way workers collaborate ultimately has a larger impact on how well a factory works than any rules handed down from on high. So the workers are happy. We're getting better manufacturing outcomes. Cool. However, we've lost authority. So how are we losing authority? Bolstering intelligentsia, we can fix that easily. We love you guys, but no more direct support. Awesome. All fixed. Check. 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 Hey, we learned about logistics. I wasn't researching this. It's just a bit of information coming in from around the world. The greatest guns don't matter in the slightest if soldiers equipped with them are too exhausted and hungry to aim. What is this? An army marches on its stomach? I think that's what it is. Or if the guns themselves have no bullets chambered in them. So we can conscript more people. Not sure we'll do that, but awesome. Conscript, sorry. Words are hard and K. If the trade union drops below 4% clout, they will radicalize. Unless they're in power. Let's go ahead and check the possibility of bringing the labor unions into government. I should have done the Reformation for free. I just wasn't thinking about that. Trade unions, welcome. Our legitimacy would drop to 16%. Never mind. No, we don't want that. Hey, Drew, it's good seeing you. I'm glad you're hanging out with us today. Thanks for being here. We don't want to do that. The bourgeoisie loves me. Again, we destroy our legitimacy. So can't we see why that is? The government gets too big. It's a matter of switching it out instead, perhaps. If I kick the petite bourgeoisie out, we still lose some legitimacy. Okay, I can't make any change right now without leading to radicalization and a loss of legitimacy. So hopefully the trade unions don't radicalize. Right now we'll do nothing though. In the future, when we have the free change, we make use of the free change. Power of the purse. We're learning about how great it is to have cash money and to build a big navy. Someday it will not be the British that rule the waves, but instead the Swedes. A little bit more expensive wood. Mana wars are cheaper. I don't know if we're making any mana wars. Do we know about boats even a little bit? is it Men-O-Wars? We actually are producing excess Men-O-Wars. I do kind of sort of wonder if these will be used against us if we sell them. I'm not sure. Alright, nice work! Ensuring you maintain a small excess in capacity is always a good idea, as it protects from unexpected deficits and gives a minor bonus. It's Man-O's War? Is it like the plural of Attorney General? Attorneys General? Perhaps that's it. Oh, I said earlier I need to find some way to raise relationship with somebody else. I was like, all right, I knew you were teasing. No worries. It's a 2 diplomacy. Russia is not our friend. Finland is okay with us. You'll recall that we tried to make nice with Finland in hopes that it would be a nice little buffer between us. And that someday we could peel it off from Russia. Not sure that's really possible. Norway feels okay to us. Someday I'm hoping we can make nice. Yeah, I'm not sure if actually making nice with Finland is anything. It was just fun to try. Denmark is our friend. Maybe we should choose a friend among Great Britain, France, and Spain. Yeah, like I said, a bunch of my my choices here are based entirely on, like, this seems like a nice thing to do. I'd like to make nice with... Wait, an alliance? Okay. Yeah, like I said previously, these popping up here mean I can propose it. They do not mean that anyone would accept. So Prussia is strongly opposed to us as an ally because different ideology and also we are tiny babies. Okay. Denmark is actually closer. Denmark's actually fairly close. 60, 85, 86, 87, 88. Does it need 12 more points? We'll see. Hello, Kendo. Is it a Kendo, a Sendo? I don't know how to pronounce things. Anyway, having super fun being a Swede, watch me play as Sweden. I'm glad you're enjoying that. I will say I apologize so much for my pronunciation of your fine nation's states. I have no idea, but I'm glad you're having a good time. Thanks for being here. So no real friends for now. However, let's try to improve relations with our friends the British. Awesome. Now, can I do anything else diplomacy-wise? Nope, still only 2 interests. One in North Germany, one in North China. Now, is there any real reason to be interested in North Germany? Because we get trade with Prussia via the Baltic Sea, I think. I'm not sure. Just not sure. However, what I am sure about is we're getting closer and closer to more ports coming in. And China is gradually increasing. So too is Great Britain. So the reason I'm trying to make friends with Great Britain is they allied with Austria against Prussia. Prussia is friendly with us, so I want to assure myself that there's not some way in which Britain comes and attacks us because we're friendly with Prussia. I don't know if the game works that way, but that's how I'm thinking about it right now. Hey, also, Great Britain is trying to improve relations with us. So we made that little initial... They've stopped. What I was going to say is, we made that initial foray of, hey man, can I sit down and have lunch with you? I'm a little lonely. And Britain said, yeah, man, tell me about yourself. And we said, well, we're Swedes. And they said, haha, psych. And now we look like absolute fools. Too bad, too bad, too bad. I was going to increase the game speed once more until eventually these ports are done. Once we're a little more positive on money, I'd like to go ahead and make more construction sectors so we can improve more quickly. And once again, Great Britain is trying to improve relations. Are we just going to get fooled by this one? As of right now, the Church of Sweden is swinging back and forth on whether they really hate us. Is there anything I can do to help with that? They oppose no health system. They oppose women having property. Okay, I'm not sure if there's much I can do to help them right now. If I bolster them, I don't know if bolstering makes happiness. It appears to just give them greater interest group attraction, which is population joining the group. My hope is... Suppression seems interesting. I think what I'm hoping is that gradually the church will lose its authority, and people join our faction instead. By our faction, I mean the intelligentsia. Wait, actually, what is the faction of my my lord? He's from the landowners, so I guess their being in power seems good. Do we get a bonus to their happiness based on the king being part of their group? I don't think so. Yeah, all the approval there. Wait, we get +4 approval. Their loyalty is different than their approval? Wait, the landowners' approval is +13. Total approval of 4. Something here is confusing. I don't quite understand it, but no doubt they appreciate me being their king, because who wouldn't? Luxury goods, luxury clothing tend to be very expensive. Let's see if we can try to cheapen that by changing how we're producing clothing. I don't quite know if I can. So if we go from non-luxury clothing to craftsman sewing, we consume more silk. I assume we're not making silk right now, though I wonder if we can import it from China, maybe? Like, my historical sense is that silk is used that way. Looks like silk does not exist here at all. Hey, look at this! So... What happened? Okay, these are the 2 war goals. Looks like Prussia won. So Prussia took over a tiny little bit of territory out this direction, and the Austrian market is now open. So, does that mean, like, no tariffs allowed? Okay, free trade means no tariff for any goods. Yeah. Alright, cool. So Prussia got a little bit bigger. Out this way, I believe. Maybe this way. I'm not quite sure which one. We're saying silk, though. So if I go ahead and move my clothing manufactories, making fancy clothes instead, they're all here. Craftsman sewing gives us more shopkeepers in place of laborers? No, just more workers, it looks like. We try that. So now we're trying to buy silk, I think. And so will it show up and I can try to buy it from elsewhere? Yes. We deeply, deeply, deeply need silk. And there is none here at all. So can I import it from China? I can! I can! So putting an interest in China is now an awesome thing, I think. So look at that big money coming in via buying silk from China. So I wonder if we're the first people over here to have silk coming in. It can't be, but how cool is that to see? Alright. Getting luxury goods from British market is not going well. We're making them ourselves, so let's go ahead and remove that. Tools are still a problem, though. What's the button for canceling all these? Is it Alt click? Shift right click. Good. Maybe just tariffs. So right now we have tariffs on luxury goods, liquor, and services. I don't fully... Oh, it's consumption taxes. Sorry, you mean tariffs. Not subject to taxes. Tariffs are controlled where? I have tariffs on something. Where can I see those? I honestly don't recall. Okay, so we have tariffs on wood right now. Tariffs on trade routes? Alright, awesome, thank you. You see them right here. Yeah, this shows tariffs, no policy, or gosh, want them to go away. So why am I protecting wood right now? We're exporting a lot more than we're importing. And do we have a wood deficit currently, or are we good on wood? We have a slight wood deficit, so I think I want to continue protecting it. Maybe. What else am I currently protecting? Oh, maybe trying to... No tools are leaving. So I was going to say maybe try to protect tools to keep them here, but none are leaving at all. We're also protecting iron and exporting some. So even if it's the case that we are trying to hold on to it, the iron is leaving anyway. Fine. I'm guessing that means we have excess beyond what we're using currently. Alright, and those are all the tariffs right now. Check iron real quick. So no, it is leaving despite the fact that we need more than we're producing. Is that right? No, that's not how this works. Iron. I have no idea. We'll figure out eventually. I think we're making more iron somewhere eventually. Yeah, more iron mines coming online someday. A new political movement to preserve religious schools has formed. It's just the church wanting to keep power. Low radicalism, medium support. We will ignore it, of course. Education for all. And I'm hoping that the trade unions get themselves some additional power soon. Taking on debt. Great Britain has taken on the Trucial state's power. So they're owed an obligation for helping this smaller power's debt. We'll learn it eventually. Oh, grimy grinds. I need the iron, but foreigners also need it. They're willing to pay more. Got it. So I think producing more iron will lower the price for us, and then we can keep it. Hopefully. Hey, Cyberorkle. Good seeing ya. Losing a little bit of cash again. That's fine. Someday the ports. 2 weeks to go. And then with all the ports made, I believe we'll be good to go on infrastructure everywhere. They very much want me to road maintain here. I think once the port's functional, that won't be necessary. Over here, we currently have road maintenance, which gives us more infrastructure. I don't think we need that anymore. I'm going to roll that back. We're good again on infrastructure for the moment. And that means we have a bunch of extra authority. I can use that to support the trade unions. And that should hopefully increase their clout. And help them not fall under 4%. We're doing great. We're doing great. We're doing great in other lies we tell ourselves, surely. Big problems right now. Inactive trade route. So once upon a time, we were selling fish to the Brazilians. They no longer want that. Let's see if anybody else wants my excess fish. I believe I have quite a bit of excess fish. Not quite a bit, actually. However, more tools, more good. What are the things that we should be trying to make more of? Yeah, still clothes. Still clothes. And still furniture. All ports online. Getting very close to making steel for the first time ever. Once we have steel, we can begin using steel to do something. There was something in a building I needed steel for. What was it? What was it? Maybe something urban-wise? Oh, it was make steel tools. Yes. It was make steel tools that give me different kind of employment and more tools. And also make steel more expensive. That's coming soon. Hello, Nekor. Do I live in Japan? Yes, I do. I'm standing right now in the city of Tokyo. Can you believe it? It is something else for sure. So the game's absolutely stuck on me having a degree to decree rather, to fix infrastructure problems here, though there are no infrastructure problems. So I can probably go ahead and turn this on and then turn it right back off again. I can't, though, because I'm spending all of my authority on helping the trade unions. We'll fix that presently. Also, if we're now good on tools, as I said I think we are, we can finally turn off the final trade for tools. Yes, cap. So, no more of you. And no more of you. And no more of you. So I'm not sure we're actually importing these days. Hey, Blue Moon, have we succeeded in crashing the economy yet? No, we're doing perfect. I'm amazed to say that this, our first playthrough, has advanced actual years, and the economy is still functioning. Somehow. Hamburg, with their lovely hamburgers. Citizens, I promise, are trying to become friendly with us. So some of the powers over this way sure would like to be friendly. Politician has died. Otto Palmstierna, leader of the landowners, is no more. So the landowners are in power right now and like us just fine. Check and see what has changed. The new leader, Gunnar Piper. He's persistent and a traditionalist commander. So that does not help anything at all. As leader, opposition interest group approval goes down. So the other groups approve less of me? Is that right? Or approve less of his... I don't know. He's a reformer, so hopefully he's interested in moving to cultural exclusion instead of national supremacy. Oh, it's only if they're in opposition? Oh, okay. Okay, I thought it was going to be as leader, the opposition, whatever it is. But no, it's as leader if he's in the opposition. Got it. Okay. People are cranky about the laws being passed right now. If I were to go ahead and upset the church even more, what happens? So I want to get rid of this so badly. Oh, no one's posing right now. Oh, I think we're currently trying to pass a law, aren't we? Yeah, that's fine. Devout Scandal. Oh, first of all, we now know how to blow things up. There's a really fantastic section in the musical Ragtime where after a tremendously long story about like idealism and trying to reach justice and equality among all people, it's a speech by Emma Goldman. A character in the musical Ragtime climbs on a chair and like attempts to offer what he knows about how to advance the cause of justice. And his line is, "And I know how to blow things up." It's like this really fascinating moment in which you think about like the way in which ideals and direct action have to come together in this moment. You expect him to say like, "And I will lead the intellectual classes to justice also," but no, he knows how to blow things up. It's great. So presumably dynamite would be pretty cool eventually. Because we know right now if we use nitroglycerin to blow things up in the mines, people will die. And I don't want to make the workers hate me. So that seems like a good idea not to do. What I thought I saw on these is there'd be increased mortality. Okay, I'm not seeing increased mortality on these. There it is. I knew it was here somewhere. So yeah, if you increase nitroglycerin, everybody's gonna die. And for the great beast that is industrialism, I don't think we want that right now. However, here's a story for your friends. It's been revealed that the leader of the Church of Sweden has been having a secret affair with a member of the clergy. His resignation is being demanded. The very fact that this sneaky bastard thought he'd get away with such a gross misuse of his policy shows everything wrong with the leadership of the church. Friends, we've been looking for a way to be a meddlesome thorn in the side of the bishops. So what can we do? The people must know of his depravity. He becomes less popular. Or ignore it. He becomes a little bit unpopular. Goodbye, church. Goodbye, church. No power for you. So hopefully we're going to see now the church losing its clout. Currently at 17, hopefully it goes down gradually. Cool. Cool, cool. This is the way? Yes. Oh. So the church no longer is denouncing us. They're now merely neutral. Oh, back to denouncing us. Maybe someday we'll be done with that, but not quite yet. Hey, look at that. Our GDP is 17th worldwide, heading closer and closer to 10 million. I can't wait to see how that goes. Though I am really curious if... I'm really curious if eventually we'll get attacked. Because I'm just not really doing anything militarily. If I get an alliance with Prussia, that'd be awesome. But I believe it's still just not going to happen. Wow, they have so many interests. Being a great power allows you to care about the whole wide world of sports. So again, steel mills finishing. Oh, what's this? Never one of them. Some members of the landowners, they are in government right now, I'm part of them as the monarch, have raised concerns about the enactment of public schools, because they believe it affects employment and promotes agitation among the lower classes. Everyone has their own place, right? I think we can all agree on that. If we teach these kids the same thing we're teaching our own children, then who's stopping them from wanting the same jobs? And who'd be then doing what they ought to do? Educating for the sake of educating is mere nonsense. An idyllic utopia will only lead to misery, empty factories, and lazy workers. So I don't want to destroy the economy, right? I do not want to liberalize too fast and have the productive machine fall to the wayside. However, I do believe in education quite a bit, intelligentsia. So everybody deserves a chance. The trade unions love this. We had a higher chance of public schools going through. We're at 20% right now, so 30% more better. However, landowners make us unhappy or lose 1 point of happiness. They're currently at plus 13. Sounds good to me. Or private funding, so we can get the wealthy people to give to charity of the schools. No, we're doing this. So landowners are a little bit bummed now. But again, only -1, not a problem at all. Nice, nice. Though we're still bolstering the trade unions, they've only grown to 4.6. The tiny baby increase. Is there anything else I can do to help them out? Help their clout grow? Imperious. So, 25% faster increase, though his personal popularity is lower. Political operator. 5% increase interest group political strength. So this character seems to be leading to increase in the clout here. I do wonder if I put them into government if that would have helped. But we'll see. Labor movements unlocked. As the world becomes more industrialized, so too the workers become more organized, campaigning for better wages and better working conditions. Workers of the world unite. All you have to lose are your chains. So literacy increases, and we need a workplace safety office. I don't know if I've done hardly any institutions. We can restrict child labor, give wage subsidies. Someday socialism. Cool. Seems great. Alright, steel mills online. Hopefully the workers start working there. Great. First steel mill ever made in our world. Now, I should check and see. Let's check and see what's happening with steel production before I get clicking too aggressively. So steel mills are currently using the Bessemer process. We get more steel more quickly. We lose coal and iron, so make sure we have more coal and iron. We can't do anything else with these right now. That's fine. As right now, they're not productive, but they're just starting. So steel is meant to go to the tooling workshops, be steel tools. We need more steel. It's coming soon. We'll be getting more tools very soon. And so I'm going to go ahead and remove another one of those. Lots of imports desired. No exports. Need more furniture. So with steel tools, we can now also improve the furniture manufacturers, I believe. Is that true? That is not true. That's, in fact, big false. Okay. I would like to continue improving our furniture manufactories. I remember seeing in Shen's stream earlier that some chatters were saying it's a good idea not to spread out your various buildings. You just keep leveling up in one place. I don't fully understand why that is, because I see here that we only get a tiny increase in revenue if we're to build another one here. We're a much larger one if we build it elsewhere. So I think somewhere that has spare peasants and get a bigger increase is maybe better. So I'm just going to do this. Stacking buildings in one stake is a bonus to throughput in those buildings. So I should ignore the revenue increase and just trust that eventually it'll be awesome. Now maybe I could eventually have furniture manufacturers everywhere. With all technology, it's 50% bonus throughput. That's amazing. Okay. Okay, economy of scale. Got it. I'm going to do both. I think I'm going to do both. Furniture for everyone! Again, the inputs for furniture are wood and fabric, I believe. And we just made a bunch more fabric. So how... And hey, we're positive on wood too. And we are not positive on fabric, unfortunately. What's this? Sulfur! Wait, where are we getting sulfur from? I actually don't know where sulfur comes from. I mean, when a mommy's sulfur and a daddy's sulfur, maybe it's a byproduct of steel manufacturing or something. If I started furniture export routes, I haven't yet, because there's not big demand for it, and my people still want more furniture. Is it still a good idea to try to start one? I'm happy to check it out and see. I'm trying to meet local demand before sending it everywhere. Yeah, it's all terribly unproductive for us. Someday we'll send furniture to China and everyone will love it. Trade unions are again down 1%. I'm considering stopping bolstering them because I guess it'd be worse if we weren't helping them. Where else am I spending authority? Taxes. Also, moving people to Gotland. Can I stop that now? The population seems pretty darn good. We still can't find enough workers, though. So maybe the kind of people that are here are the wrong kind of people for this kind of job. I'm going to go ahead and kick the government administration up to the top of the heap and see if that helps. I don't see any reason to believe that it would. but what we're doing is what we're doing. So, government administration, top of the heap. Hey, Blue-White. Earning diplomatic obligations are a mystery. Any ideas how to gain them? So the only diplomatic obligation I've seen so far is when Great Britain took on the sovereign debt of some nation. But that's all I know about so far. Haven't really seen that mechanic too much. Someday this will pass. Someday this will pass. And it will be glorious. I guess I now understand why it's a good idea to choose new laws that have greater support, because then they get passed faster, and you can choose a new one if you want to. Presumably the trade unions will be very, very happy when this happens, though they may continue losing clout. We'll see. We're now under authority. So I didn't turn off this yet. I'm going to do so now, just get positive authority again. And we could stop getting taxes, though I think that's a large portion of our economy here. What's that weird change on our balance sheet? For a moment there was a huge increase off the chart. And now, unfortunately, it's going the other direction. I mean, it's still climbing, just slowly. Okay, what do we see? The porcelain. I was wondering if I could import porcelain from China and see if it's productive to do so. It is, it is. Only a little bit. That's great. Should lower prices a little bit. How about that liquor? Oh, wait, why is that? So for some reason, these are grayed out. Does anybody know what that means? Because they aren't all grayed out. I assumed initially it meant there is no place that's profitable. When I click here, they're very, very profitable indeed. Yeah, I don't understand why it's grayed out. I'm going to push this button. And this button. More liquor, more good. Wine also. Again, grayed out for some reason. We still have 1,000 convoys available. Seems ridiculous. I should probably do a bunch more trade routes. I've kind of been sitting on them because that grayed out thing I think makes some problem. Okay. We've raised a slight problem here. The slight problem is more trade routes means bureaucracy is being spent down too quickly. Let's look at the trade routes we have and get rid of this one. That moves back to positive or no? You don't see what's grayed out. Okay, I can show you more closely. So if I'm getting, for instance, clothes. So you can see here, these are bright green. Where these up here are bright green with like gray text. Now, maybe it's just that there's no word in this one that is important. So perhaps what I'm seeing is the words are grayed out, where market good policy really pops there. Yeah, I think that's what I was mistakenly reading as being grayed out. Import route, export route, not important words. Okay, my apologies. I misunderstood the UI, but what's new? Alright, so removing that one trade route got us closer to positivity rather. We got to get ourselves, hey, all the way positive now. No idea why, but cool. Ah, everything's improving. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I see that fabric is super expensive right now. Fabric is produced by our... No, not Sten Engelmann. So he's the one that was the leader of the Church of Sweden. And he was very unpopular. New leader here is Wilhelm Hammerhelm. Innovative, does not matter, political operator. He has a little bit more political strength. He's a jingoist. He wants to fight, 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 fight. We'll see. Hey, Optional Quest, thanks for the Prime sub. I'm glad you're enjoying the show and want to support the things we do here monetarily. Super kind of you. What was I talking about doing? Fabric, right. So fabric is produced by livestock farms. We're consuming it like the Dickens in furniture here. So, how else can I get this? Cotton plantations, subsistence farming. We still have a bunch of subsistence farming. I'll be curious to see how we rid ourselves of these. I know earlier we chose with the rural folk to let them keep some. These basic productions I should kick up to intensive probably. Hey Phil, thank you for the Prime sub also. 6 months of support, I do appreciate that. Thank you for making the channel what it is. Cool, very cool, thank you. Alright, so how do I find the livestock ranches that are not using intensive grazing? That is not the button for it. If I click here, nothing happens. I wonder if I go to the overall buildings page, it'll let me do all those changes at once. So did that change all of them over? Okay, I think they all are on intensive now. We're consuming more grain, but producing more fabric. And fertilizer also. Now, where does grain come from? I assume it's eaten by both animals and humans. We are hemorrhaging a little bit. Let's try to fix that. The grain comes from rye farms, wheat farms, rice farms, etc. We cannot make wheat farms? The clicking does nothing. So we'll go ahead and make additional of these, just to ensure that we have more wheat coming in. Oh boy, I can't stop clicking. This sure seems good. Power of the purse. Higher naval max level. The naval base buildings are improved. Our navy is 10 ships and a guy named Carl. Sure, they're going to do well with that. Only certain states make agricultural goods. Okay, so possibly I have no place that's good enough for wheat. We're not, what would the word be? We're not arable in that way. It's terrible, we're not arable. Ah! The intelligentsia has dropped from being powerful to merely influential, while the petite bourgeoisie are up and up still. Wait, who's my second group in power? Is it the bourgeoisie? No, it's the landowners. Maybe in the future we'll bring them in. Look at that! Everyone is happy with us, except for the church. Our legitimacy is low. Railways. Alright, our legitimacy is lower than I'd like it to be by a substantial amount. However, everyone's fairly happy, but for the church. Okay, here's where we get the bonus for our group being in power. I knew it came from somewhere. It looks like you get more legitimacy via having more clout in government. Having the landowners in power is not helping that at all. So maybe next time around we'll bring the bourgeoisie in also. After an election we gotta do something for sure. Hey, look at that! The trade unions are up to 10% clout. They just jumped a tremendous amount. I have no idea why they jumped so much. They went from 4% clout to more than 10, just like that. That's crazy. Alright, we got railroads. The first steam locomotive railways were built to transport passengers, only later being used for industrial purposes. The efficient and rapid method of travel quickly rendered canal systems obsolete, sometimes just years after the canals have been completed at great expense. Canals are now for looking, not for using. So we can move to railways for our various mines and plantations. We don't have any of those. Also railway building for higher infrastructure and steel railway cars. Tanker cars, electric railways, craziness. Okay, let's see what it takes to move my various mines over to railways. Hello, coal mines. So from road carts to rail transportation requires transportation goods. I don't know what those are. So I think there's probably no demand for them yet. I've not seen them before. We push the button. Having pushed the button, we now try to figure out what those are. Transportation goods. All right, nothing yet. I have to wait until that gets turned on gradually. Or do I need to have at least one railroad building to have a railroad? We'll look into that in a moment. First, though, it is time for more technology. So with railways completed, we can now get steel railway cars. We can then have trains be sturdier and carry more stuff. We'll see eventually. Over here, we can have fractional distillation. We start making rubber and baking powder and patent stills. So make more alcohol, perhaps. Hey, Spartan Stew, thanks for the raid host. I appreciate it. How's it going, my friend? Were you playing RimWorld? We are currently playing, of course, Victoria 3. I do miss the RimWorld, but I hope you had a good stream, my friend. Friend, they don't know Spartan Stew. Longtime friend of the channel. Plays a lot of RimWorld. Is an altogether good person. Hey, Foul. Am I enjoying Vic 3? You've yet to play any Victoria games yourself. I am enjoying it. I never played any Victoria games before this one. I am currently about 7 hours into my first playthrough. I'm enjoying it, but if you're someone who likes Paradox games with lots of role-playing, that's not really in this game so much. It's much more like economy simulator. The role-play decision is what kind of government do you want, and to what degree do you want to have your nation focus on certain kind of technologies rather than others. As of right now, we are focused on making furniture, because we're IKEA. Absolute thanks for the follow, I do appreciate it. Crystal glass. I think we learned earlier that crystal glass is made with lead. We have lead, and so we can maybe productively turn into glass instead. Canneries we're learning about automatically. Improves food industry. No idea what that is. On the society side, we could begin to learn about modern sewage. This increases construction sector max level. We can have more construction groups. Higher infrastructure. That's good. We've been struggling with infrastructure in various places. That might be nice. Postal Savings Bank. A valuable method for people to save money, even at a bank. Postal savings promotes both the storage and flow of money among the poorest of citizens. So I had never heard of postal savings until I moved to Japan. Apparently it used to happen in the US also. I think Bernie Sanders talked about bringing it back because basically everywhere has a post office, but many underserved communities don't have banks. Anyway, one of the major banks in Japan is still the Japan Post Office. And so actually, factually, my only bank account in Japan right now is the post office, because many other Japanese banks will not let you have an account until you've been in country for a year or so, I think. So I bank with the post office. More cash reserves. So I don't fully understand the distinction between cash reserves and gold reserves. But as of right now, we are nowhere full on either one. I don't think we need that currently. Central banking. More minting. I don't know what that is in the game. Cheaper loans. As of right now, we're not running a deficit, so we don't need that. Could do identification documents. Better taxation. No one seems to hate this. I can imagine the labor union not wanting us to tell them who they are. Am I currently teaching English in Japan? No, Shen. I'm actually teaching philosophy in Japan. I work for a Japanese university here, and it is a delightful and strange path that's got me here. How does that work? Do you mail money to the bank? No, I actually go to the post office, and so the post office has 3 windows. One of which is like standard mail, one of which is some other kind of service I've forgotten. And then the third one is like actually a bank window. And so it's the post office bank window, and it functions just like a normal bank. But if you want to, you can also get different kinds of services too. It's really weird from an American perspective, but the post office here has such a high reputation that I believe the vast majority of Japanese people bank with the post office primarily. People here tend to trust the state. Speaking of trusting the state, we could get nationalism. I don't think the intellectuals would like that. We can insist first and foremost that we are Swedes. Nationalism leads to anarchism we want to, and then to agitation and propaganda. This is the way in which we can... Oh, wait, actually, no, I'm sorry. I was actually kind of confused why nationalism led to anarchism. It doesn't. Anarchism is the rejection of states in general. We're heading down the egalitarianism path instead, so we could research human rights, which unlocks a bunch more interesting laws. Or we could go for socialism straight away. I think I'm going to hold off on this right now. It seems a bit farther in the future than where we are. But yes, these is where we're heading for sure. Can't wait, can't wait. Also, someday, analytical philosophy. Oh boy, a rigorous argumentative approach to philosophy, formal logic, and near mathematical attitude of analytic philosophy provides a solid framework to approach social movements with. That's not true. So, the rise of analytic philosophy in both Europe and the United States was the simultaneously falling of socially informed philosophy. In the US, at least, this is because socially informed philosophy was seen to be in league with communists, and so Joseph McCarthy was arguing against non-analytic social philosophy, which is unfortunate. On the other side, though, in Europe, there's also a tremendous move against social philosophy, with the fear that if we did not understand how knowledge worked, like the basics of how we argue and think, then we didn't understand anything. And so we didn't understand anything. It led to suspicion about any other non-epistemological field. And so no, analytical philosophy is not social movements at all. I'm considering sending an email to Paradox about this one. Like, I realize it's just a tooltip. It means literally nothing in the game, but I have a strong bit of opposition here. I understand they're trying to approach it as a development from Hegelian dialectics, which it definitely is. But I think traditionally Hegel's thought has been much better at social movements through Marx than analytic philosophy has been. Recently, in the past 30 years or so, there's been a bunch of like analytically informed social movements and social thought, but not time this game. Dear Paradox, can't wait. All right, can I explain what Hegelian dialectics are? Yes, I can, in sort of a quick and dirty way. So, generally speaking, Americans especially, but also a lot of Europeans, like the idea that history is a straight line. Once things were bad, now they are better. Someday they'll be really, really good. The only way history moves is towards progress. Hegel was not terribly sure about this. Hegel saw it being more complicated than pure logical upwards. And so he has an idea called dialectics. I'm going to give a simplified version that I use with undergraduates. It's not quite true, but it's good enough. And this little picture here indicates what's going on. So Hegel identified certain ideas in human society as being really important for the definition of the present moment. These he referred to as the thesis. Now, he did not use this word. This is the way in which we teach it to undergraduates. It's not true, but he called this the thesis. An example is the idea of monarchy, that some people should rule over other kinds of people. And monarchy functioned very, very well at a certain time. It was seen as being a stable government form. However, there are other ideas in society that challenge the idea of monarchy. One of these is the idea of freedom, right? We don't need masters, we don't need rulers to be over top of us. What we need is freedom instead. And so the monarchy, the thesis, is challenged by the antithesis or antithesis of freedom, right? Sure, it would be great if we can get rid of the monarchy, get freedom instead. Now, the progressivist thinker of history would say, yes, eventually the monarchy is removed, you get freedom as what comes next. The revolution in the United States is one version of freedom winning out against monarchy. Hegel's question, though, is what comes next? Is it really freedom, or is it some third thing? Not just monarchy, not just freedom, but some combination that negates both and preserves elements of both simultaneously. So in the little picture here, it's thesis, antithesis, synthesis. It's the negation and preservation of both what came before, the third between them. So in the case of monarchy and freedom, one thing you can say is, sure, there is no explicit king anymore, but there are still rulers who are not the same as the ruled. See, for instance, slavery, right? Slavery is preserved the next moment. Certain kind of people are still ruled in basically the exact same way that the kings previously ruled the peasants. Now it's the slave masters rule over the slaves. Again, though, this is a further moment. The synthesis becomes a new thesis in which slavery is opposed by the idea of freedom, right? And so slavery and freedom get working on the ideal level again. And then what pops out? Well, capitalism, right? The owner class and the worker class, etc. This is simplified very, very much. Reading Hegel in his youth, Karl Marx realized this doesn't happen at the level of ideas. It happens instead at the level of people who are actually factually striving and struggling in the world. He called these material conditions. So for Hegel, it's ideas challenging ideas, the Geist of a people. For Marx, instead, it is some people are controlling others' lives and livelihoods, and other kinds of people are being left out of that and oppressed by the very definition of the society. So the problem with the monarch and the peasants is not the idea of freedom, but instead, actually factually, some people live lives of profound privilege, and the only reason they can do that is because others, the serfs, are oppressed. So this is dialectics, the understanding of how history moves by oppositional steps instead of by a straight line. It might be the case that things are progressive in some ways. It might be better ultimately to get communism rather than subsistence farming, but it's not a straight line ever. And there you go. Hopefully you know a little bit more about dialectics than you did before. Yeah. Do I have a good book on this? I do. Unfortunately, the book I think about this, or used for this, requires a tremendous amount of knowledge of Hegel first. So I will come to you tomorrow with some more knowledge of a good book to read. I need to find one that does not assume a bunch of knowledge of Hegel, but I can do that. In Discord for sure. About quinine, what do I know about quinine? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna talk about the military. We've not done any military technology so far, and so I'm interested in thinking about how can I ensure that my beautiful IKEA-based nation is not attacked. So over here, what can I do? Hey, anonymous gifter, thanks for gifting us something, Nairo. Nairo, enjoy your emotes and such. We'll see. Hydraulic cranes. The ports get more better. Cranes powered by water pressure are vastly stronger than earlier stationary cranes. So goods move faster. They'll probably have to upgrade the port to this maximum level, and we're nowhere near that right now. Screw frigates. I agree, frigates are terrible. So the screw propeller helps the ships move faster. This makes better ships at shipyards. We have power of the purse, so we can have, oh gosh, I can't do French, jeune école. By having many smaller ships rather than fewer big ones, it's possible to keep a certain level of maneuverability that would otherwise be impossible. Our navy gets more bigger and better. Oh, with this kind of thing here, plus 10 naval base max level, does this mean that we automatically get more ships, or do we have to build ships directly? So I've seen on the Admiral, there is some like Navy number. It's a little blue symbol. Britain's is very, very high. Is that naval base level, or does it indicate something else instead? That's my question. We'll try to figure out eventually. Also, what do we have? Triaging. First aid in barracks. Treating wounded people. Might be good to keep my people alive longer term. The shell gun, the rifling. I learned about rifling. We can make rifles instead of merely small arms. Instead of a limit of 10, it's a limit of 20. Okay, so that is what this is happening here. Admiral Carl has a naval limit of 10. Oh, I see. So currently, he's commanding 10 ships of his 20. If we research that other one, it goes to 30. So how do I fill up his navy? The clicking, it does nothing. We found a way to increase the number of troops that the general had from 20 to 30. Probably in the military page. Navy. Okay, I'd like to have more flotillas. Warside barracks, each level of building creates 1 unit of military ships. Ah, okay. So I actually haven't made any more barracks yet. We just had 10 that were garrisoned initially that I moved to the general. Okay. Let's add additional Navy stuff. Naval base. Increase. Increase. And there's more barracks too. Truly becoming a military power all at once. Hope that does not destroy the economy. Academic assistance. The teachers of our higher institution of learning have offered to advise the government on how to implement public schools. There are certainly differences between teaching children the fundamentals and the more advanced education offered at universities. Nevertheless, as architects of the upper floors of the towering structure of knowledge, we believe the least we can do is provide some insight into how the foundation should be built. Okay, so I'm guessing I'll make the intelligentsia happy if we do this. The university drops. Do I have universities? We get closer, though, to our public schools getting put through. So professors drop in their level of university production for a little while. But getting this through would be awesome. Or I'd say research is more important. We'll get 10% increase instead. Okay. Now that I've clicked the button, what does a university actually do? We have 2 of them. Paper goes in. What comes out? Oh, there we go. Innovation comes out. So we're researching more slowly in order to benefit everyone. Love that idea. Love that very much. So one concern here is that Russia will eventually attack Sweden. What can we say about Russia? They're antagonistic. They view me as a threatening force. Heck yes, I am. Likely to seek out alliances and limit our expansion. We're natural enemies. Or relations. I could try to make them like us more. What I very much want, though, is an alliance with Prussia. So let's go ahead and see what the possibilities of that are. Hello, Prussia. How about an alliance? Oh, gosh. So no longer does Prussia show up here. Maybe they're just too darn big. Denmark is uninterested in alliance. 50, 60, 85, 86, 85. Does anyone have an idea of how to raise our relationship with Denmark sufficiently to make this work? Like, are there any buttons I can push straight away? Or just a matter of, like, making our ideologies closer? Or China? Right, China wants nothing to do with me, unfortunately. Just increased relationship? Okay. I thought we're pretty high, though, on our relationship with Denmark. Scheme to seduce. Absolutely. Gonna fall in love with the king here. So they're genial. Denmark views Sweden as a desirable ally. They want closer relations and want to form an alliance. No, they don't. No, they don't. Also amicable, plus 50. Prussia, though, we are genial and amicable also. I think this might be the highest tier on those. If we make a bigger army, we'll be more interested. Alright, we are growing our army right now. So maybe that will lead us to getting friendship with someone down here. Gotta keep working on it. Market access is bad in Gortland again. Already building things to fix this? No. Would you be interested in a railway? Oh, again, we don't have any transportation points. But I will start a railway there also and see what happens. Do transportation points actually show up here? They do. Alright, so we need railroad tickets. Who has railroad tickets for me? Okay, so genuinely I cannot import these. Maybe they can't be imported at all? They're produced at Expand Railway. Railway? So you have to have a railway, and then you make the railway better, and you get tickets. This consumes coal and engines. I have coal, I don't have engines. So, tell me about engines. Engines do not yet appear. Very well. A big list of things to do. Oh gosh, there's so many farms, so many bases, more furniture coming real soon. I suspect there's some inefficiencies in the old economy here, but gosh, we're working on it. Also, trade unions up to 10% support. I'm gonna stop bolstering them now because it helped them grow into big boys. And so with that, I could finally do the road maintenance decree that the game has wanted for a while. So, gotta maintain it for 12 weeks. Fine. We need transportation, we need coal. So the coal is something I could potentially fix. Check out our coal buildings and see what is what. It's going to have railroads once we have more transportation points, which is coming fairly soon. Also, we can use nitroglycerin. This will kill people. We do not want that. We'll push the increase button. And I want to kick the... I want to kick something to the top. I have no idea what, though. Let's leave it as is. Oh, there are 2 pages now. How do I go to page number 2? Next page. Oh, man. Alright. Coal to the top. Railways to the top. Naval bases to the top. So this is how it goes in your games also? Do you end up with just like tremendous piles of more and more construction to do? Naval bases get made very, very quickly. So probably worth kicking those on first. I'm guessing barracks go pretty fast also. Yeah, learning the speed that things take to get made is something I need to figure out. Also getting more construction would be good. Again, I said when we get to plus 3,000, I would make more construction, but as right now I can't. Okay. Market access has been increased via decree. So we can now turn off this decree here. And We're losing an interest in North China. Why? They like us just fine. Customs Union. Denmark might want a customs union. No, they don't. Interests are in diplomacy? No. In diplomacy. Okay, so I'm guessing China got too big for us, and so we're no longer allowed to be friends there. The only people allowed to interact with are North Germany. So are we going to lose our trade networks with China because we no longer have a relationship with them? I'm guessing we need to get substantially larger in order to have a new interest somewhere. Because as you saw there, we have no actual targets. Oh, now we do. I have no idea what just changed. So we can go ahead and do North China again. Or Japan. I'm so curious what happens if we interact with Japan. Yeah, but really and sincerely, I don't know where to go here. I guess we're just going to stay with China. I do wonder why I dropped off, though. Maybe for a moment they got too big. Next up is more population in Svealand. Surely that'll go on its own. I went from major power to a minor power. Oh, no, that's not true. I've always been a minor power. I don't mean to be so brusque on that. That's not true. No, I've been a minor power since the playthrough started, though. I think I started at size 17. I'm all the way up to 15 now. Someday, I'll be a major power. Someday. We're almost at the 50% success on the public schools. Someday. What are these? Literacy. 60% of us are literate. Good job. Standard living is 15 overall. You recall when we started, we were merely impoverished. So things are improving. Even the lowest class started, I believe, at like 11.5. Nice. Population is trending up very, very slowly. We have more radicals than ever before. So the radicals appear to be industrialists, primarily. Is that true? The clicking does nothing. Everyone else seems very, very happy. Cat. Grimy, you enjoyed my talking philosophy? So as of right now, I don't have any place where I talk philosophy consistently. I do have a YouTube channel, but it's like entirely gameplay videos and tip videos of RimWorld and CK3 and so on. Yeah. I've said previously that I might make philosophy videos, but I don't know. There are a lot of other people who do that, and I very much want to like do things that are distinctive. Now, I could probably teach in some way that's distinctive, but I don't know. It's hard to like pick what content to produce, and so I've kind of gone all in on just the gaming stuff and then the teaching stuff at school. The very, very brief moment we were making tons of monies. Now a little bit less so. I think the game's happening too fast right now. I think I'm missing something I should be paying attention to. Alright. We're not making enough coal or enough transportation. We are working on that. The coal story... Hey! I don't know what this is. So, oh, that was just more people showed up in Svealand. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. So, everybody wants coal. We're only producing a little. We can try to import it. It's productive to do that. Cool. We'll also then work on making even more coal. Once the railroads are functional, we'll surely do better. But actually, all the railroads do is decrease the employment of laborers. I actually don't know what the evangelist is then. so it consumes less transportation, and more people go to work. I guess the advantage is that you have fewer laborers then, and you're able to have people get trained into better jobs. Yeah, not totally sure. Anyway, more coal mines. You don't suppose when I get home I want to teach more philosophy? I mean, I've thought at some point of like trying to take all the syllabuses I've ever taught, things I don't teach anymore because they're not needed at the school, and make videos based on that. But yeah, I've got to find a way to like make it compelling and interesting, and not just like one more professor saying, "Let me now explain to you Plato's Republic, Book 3. You'll recall that in Book 2, we raised the question of what is the origin of cities. In this book, we consider whether cities produce good people, or good people produce good cities, or perhaps both, or maybe neither." It's got to be more than just that. So I'd want to have like a whiteboard. I'd want to have some way of being engaging and fun, and produce something that I'm worthy, or that seems worthy of public consumption. And like largely, I do that pretty well. But I think one thing I also worry about is if I screw up in a video game, people tend to say, like, LOL, no big deal. If I screw up in a lecture, though, I don't know if I can deal with, like, commenters saying, your PhD should be rescinded, you don't deserve to be a professor, right? That sort of thing. So, that's how it goes. Can-do attitude. Soldiers are complaining they have no way to open canned food. Sure, food is better, but what's the point if we can't get at it? Some lads use rocks, other knives. The only reliable thing is the only reliable thing is how bloody annoying it is to eat. We'll obviously invent the can opener to fix this. Recently, though, Noms and I were making a dinner of what's it called? A Thai green curry. And so Thai green curry needs like the curry paste and then coconut milk. And so he bought some coconut milk at the store, at like an international food store down the way. And only when it was time to make dinner do we realize we do not have a can opener. And so Nam went out into the cold and the rain to the store to buy a can opener. Unfortunately, they do not sell in Japan, or at least not in the stores that are nearby to us, this sort of standard American can opener where you squeeze on down and then crank. Instead, they have what I think was more traditional style of can opener. This thing where you like push in and push in and push in and work it around the edge yourself. And so she brought that home and said, Resorti, you're allowed to use this to open things if you don't cut your hand. And so I had to figure out how to like hold the can in such a way that if I slipped, I would not cut my finger off. Anyway, we got the can open. We had a very nice curry dinner, but it was a little concerning. All right, I can spend some money to develop the can opener. For 5 years, we spend a whole bunch of money. Or we say they figured out, the armed forces get cranky. All right, I will spend money. We'll learn about the can opener. So this game has some funny events. Despite the fact it's more like EU4 in terms of just like being technology, I am delighted by the events in this game in a way in which EU4 events don't really tickle me, I think. The church is cranky again. This because they apparently don't want people getting their canned goods. However, we have a new party. The trade unions have started that beautiful Rose Party there. Social Democratic Party. Now again, this should be a natural affinity with the intelligentsia. So has that happened? Oh, can more than one interest group join a party? Or is it like purely defined by one interest group? So I would love have the intelligentsia and the trade unions join a party together. My biggest clout is still the petite bourgeoisie. They have big money, surely. More than one group may join. Cool. It's fun watching the clout bars go up and down as time goes by. The slowest and steadiest loss is the bluish one here. The landowners. My biggest hope is that the next king, he's 81. The next king is part of what group? The intelligentsia. Nice. So I was deeply worried that the landowners would continue getting strength, even though they're dropping in clout because the king would be a landowner. But no, the heir here with his attractive little monocle is part of the intelligentsia. Everything is working out resorty. Now, I do wonder what the child of the next king will be. Are they going to be a strong reactionary and try to reinstall a theocracy? We shall see, we shall see. Unfortunately, though, we're going to have to see it tomorrow, friends. I've got to go teach. It's now 10:30 my time. I've had so much fun, but it is necessary for me to go amuse the students. I'll be back tomorrow with another exciting round of Swedish tutorial fun. It's been a tremendously good time to spend time with you today. So let me find someone to radio host to spread along the quote-unquote good vibes. And I do appreciate you hanging out with us today. So Victoria3 Twitch, who is playing the video games. Hi, Resorty. Okay, I don't recognize any of these people at all. This person has a top hat on, though. Do you all want to watch the Top Hat Man? I've decided we're going to be watching the Top Hat Man. Their name is Fakin' It with Jason. I don't know this person. Hope they're awesome. When you get there, please do offer a hello friends, give them the kindest of greetings, and maybe help them out with their playthrough in the way you've helped me out so far. Architect, thank you for the generous subscription gift to Grimy Grimes, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you, and goodbye.